Good morning. Another early morning day shift shave. Woo. I am not a day person. My sister sent me a thing here a while back that said that I'm not a morning person. I don't like mornings. I don't like people. So anyway, kind of sums it up. So today, before we go to work, Colgate Cup Soap. This is a favorite Colgate of mine, given to me by a friend. We're going to use a synthetic Tuxedo brush, the black and white there, ApShave Canada, I believe, on a custom turn handle. That's the 30 DC brush. That is one of my prized possessions right there. They're doing a group of the guys over on the Shave Den actually are doing a Shavette January. So I'm going to jump in with a Shavette shave. This particular one is made by Lord. If I'm not mistaken, that's Egypt. And it's all plastic with the exception of the blade here. And you actually buy replacement blades. When the blade gets dull, this part gets thrown out. So there's a fair amount of waste there, and I'm not a real big fan of that, but it is an extremely fun little thing to shave with. It's extremely light, and it's you know, something you could throw in a camp bag or whatever, and you wouldn't have to worry about dinging up any of your better stuff. And there is better stuff, but these are actually really fun to shave with. So anyway, we're going to do that, and we're going to finish up the day. Now, a lot of times I get the yakking and I forget about the aftershave. I'm sure some of y'all have noticed that. But anyway, today, let's do some Pinaud Citrus Musk, because I'm going to be working inside, and I don't need anything really stout. Got a little over a day's worth of growth there, and which leaves us with some little stubbly stuff. And I don't know about y'all, but it seems to me, when we had a discussion on this, I saw some discussions the other day, it is easier to shave a 2-day, 3-day growth than it is to do an everyday shave. And that's my opinion, and opinion of some others that I was talking with, and I was reading their comments and watching their comments. But if you have a razor and you want to see how good this razor works, what you need to do is be sure to use it on a short, like a day growth, because a lot of razors are cut longer growth and they won't be as comfortable to you cutting shorter growth. Now, that being said, if you have good techniques, solid technique, it doesn't really matter which razor you're using and do what, and you know, you'll have favorites, but it'll be favorites for some reason other than the fact that you can't get them to work. I know people that just can't get something to work. It just doesn't work for me. It's just not. It's like, just technique. Keep working at it, you'll get it. The Shave Den, I mentioned, that's where that's because the original Safety 2, we don't do double-edged razors, we don't do straight razors, we don't do Shavettes, so I go over to the Shave Den for that. Really great place. They what they call the 30-day rule, focus, and the idea is that you take one soap, one brush, one razor, all this, and you learn to use it by using it for a month. And it works really well for people who are having technique problems. And then you can come back in there and post. And there's a group of guys there that have basically seen it all, because they've done it all. And my little, towards the front of my, what I would call the front of my YouTube channel, my older videos, there's some kind of stunt shaves in there. The razor blade that was taped to a stick, and the one that was taped to a stick on my thumb. And I built a homemade razor that I shave with. All that was part of that 30-day cruise shenanigans, for what they call mayhem. But anyway, there's a group of guys there that really know what they're talking about, and I like to go over there and play with them some. And this is so your technique, and the Shavette's like anything else, it's technique driven. You'll hear folks say that the Shavette is the ultimate it's early in the morning, folks. Let me tell you, it's really the ultimate adjustable, because you control the angle, you control the pressure, you control everything right here in your little hands. And especially with a really light one like this, it's just a lot of fun. So we're going to be sure we got some skin scratching going on here. Always important to skin stretch with any razor, really, but especially when you're using something with an open blade. It's pretty important to have that skin stretch, and it gives you a good flat surface to run the razor on. That's about as smooth as you can get with a shave already. It's just, it just really is. And one piece of advice I give, hold on just a second here. Didn't want to talk much around there. One piece of advice I give is I paraphrase Tuco. And in case you don't know who Tuco is, he was the ugly on The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Favorite movie of mine. Tuco Ramirez. Eli Walsh played him. And I'm going to paraphrase him by saying that when it's time to shave, shave. And what I mean by that, with an open blade especially, if you're sitting there and you're picking the blade up and you're trying to make these little jerky strokes and you're doing all this stuff, you're going to slice yourself. And you know, straight razors and an open blade shaving is a whole lot of fun as long as there's not a lot of bleeding. Oops, need to rinse off before I do that. That was fixing to make a mess. I'll clean that up. There we go. Clean that up on the second pass. Now I've been talking and I've let my lather get a little bit dry. Another thing I saw the other day, especially when you're starting, is that one of the guys, and I'm gonna steal it. They do a section of the face at a time. Now when I'm just shaving and not talking, I wouldn't really need to do that, but lather up maybe this cheek and you shave this cheek, and then you lather up the chin and you shave the chin, and then you come across and shave over here, and that way your lather doesn't dry out on you, because anything will dry out if you take long enough with it. And this Colgate Cup Soap is no exception. It'll dry out if you're sitting there and taking too long to go across. Now I started out with it fairly dry anyway. I could put more water in it. Don't handle out of the way there for a second. But I want to talk a little bit while I'm getting under my neck here about one-handed versus two-handed shaving. Now I use my dominant hand. My right hand is my dominant hand. And when I'm doing a straight razor, open razor shave, I just use that one hand. I think I could use both hands, but I just don't. I had to go ahead and clean that little. That's the first pass. Would have went a lot quicker if I wouldn't have been talking, but you know, I was, so there we go. single edge razors, injector razors, double edge razors. I generally do a 3-pass shave, my routine, with 2 lather passes and a witch hazel cleanup. Generally with an open blade like this, I'm just going to do 2 passes. That's all I'm going to do this morning. It's already a pretty good shave, especially on the really flat areas of cheek and neck and stuff. But we'll go back and try to get a little bit different angle on some of that. And clean it up a little bit. Around my chin, I got this big old honking chin and everything. And that takes a little getting used to cleaning up. Alright, so see if we can get a little stretch going on here. And just like any other razor, light pressure and good angle, about all it takes. This is almost straight against the grain, and I don't normally shave against the grain at all, but I found sometimes with an open razor, this is a good little pass. Cleans up really good under here, because after the first pass, there's not, as long as everything went good on the first pass, there's not a lot to clean up. I almost got bit right there. Especially when you're shaving with an open blade. If you feel something bad starting to happen, and once you get to doing this a little bit, you'll know when it feels like something bad fixing to happen. Unfortunately, there's no suspenseful music to play, and you know, Sam Spade's not going to peek his head around the corner. But you'll get to know when something's bad's fixing to happen. And when you notice something's bad's fixing to happen with an open blade, stop what you're doing and rethink it. Pick the blade up, figure out what's wrong. Alright, it may just be as simple as just going back and getting a little bit different try on it, but don't once it starts going bad, don't try to keep sliding the blade and pull it out, especially to start with. Alright, well, this is just kind of a cleanup pass down here. I'm not going to worry too much about direction. I do try to come in a little bit of an angle up under the back of the ear there. We'll pull the skin tight here and here. It's pretty good. And before everything gets too dry, now, like I say with most videos, this is how I do it. Other people do it better, I'm sure. Other people just do it different. Different's not always better, different's not always worse. Different is just different sometimes. So there we go. Early morning. I'm not even sure it's 4 o'clock yet. Shave with an open blade. The Lord disposable blade. Plastic. Shavette type thing. Whatever you want to call it. It's a good feeling shave this morning. No blood. Nice and cleaned up for the day. So when I get in uniform, my boss won't be hollering. Finish off with the Clubman Musk. Citrus Musk, actually. This is a really nice, it's hard to describe sometimes what a barbershop scent is when we start talking about them, but this is what I would definitely call a barbershop scent. And it's just one of the really nice ones. And I'm going to put a little extra on just because I can. A little bit of sting, let you know the blade was doing its work. And I can feel that I got everything cleaned up pretty good. So there we go. Shavette shaves. A lot of fun. Good skin stretching. You know, if you're going to shave, shave. Don't sit there and be all hesitant about it. You're going to cut yourself almost every time. If you feel things starting to go bad, stop and do something different. Chicks dig scars, but you know, why push it? Alright, well y'all have a good day. I'm going to go out and do the same thing. I hope. Happy shaves.